Hey guys, thank you much for watching this video. As you know me, this is Raul with Platinum Real Estate Professionals, and today I do have a very special guest, John Drennan with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. John has been an athlete on my team, among other stuff, but there's one certification that is very peculiar in our business, and you don't see it very often, with a lot of lenders these days, and that is the certification in divorces. And who better to explain us? John, please tell us a little bit more about this certification that you have.
Hey, Raul, thank you very much for having me on today. Yes, a couple years back, I went and received my Certified Divorce Lending Professional designation. That's called the CDLP, and that allows me to negotiate during a divorce, negotiate the terms of the divorce with the CPA, the mediator, the financial advisor, and the attorney, so that the client comes out smooth sailing and they can actually buy a house, refinance, or whatever it may be. What a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot of rules and regulations that are tied to the mortgage industry in regards to verification of income, continuance of income. And if you don't have your ducks in a row, then what can happen is you can come to me with the final settlement agreement, and I can say, oh, wow, this is nice. And you as the consumer may say, hey, John, look, I get $10,000 a month in alimony. But if you don't have 6 months of receipt and 36 months of continuance, so we're talking 42 months, guess what? That is zero income in the John Drennan mortgage world, okay? So it's extremely important, and that happens sadly enough. So what I always tell everybody is come to me, allow me to help negotiate these terms. And in that scenario, I would say, okay, well, how much money you're gonna make over 36 months? Well, you're gonna make X. How much, if we take that same dollar amount divided by, let's say, 48 months, then I got the 6 months of receipt, I have the 36 months of continuance, and there's still a 6-month buffer there. So that helps. Right. What if you're the one paying? Okay, that's going to be something that's very important too. If you're the one paying, you can actually start making the payments while the divorce is being finalized. So if all of a sudden you say, hey, me and my ex, it's not working out, but she is still the mother of my children. I could start paying my current wife, who's going to be my soon-to-be ex. I could start paying her what we believe to be the amount for the child support or child support or alimony while the divorce is happening, because divorces typically don't happen over 24 hours, right?
Exactly.
They typically take time. And if you do have assets and you have children, and let's say that the goal is for her to keep the house and buy you out, even if I hate her, which once again, she's the mother of my children, but even if you have such disdain, you want to leave a level of protection for your children, right?
Exactly.
And also, you want her to qualify. Let's be honest, Raul. You can sit here and say, well, why would I do anything to help her? No, you're helping yourself. Because guess what? You start paying the 6 months of child support, then make sure there's 36 months of continuance or alimony, whatever it is. That means she's going to be able to get the house in her name sooner. And then that's called an equity buyout. And that's another thing. 75% of all homeowners, one of them wants to keep the house. So,
yes.
And so as a realtor, it can be frustrating, right? You hear about a divorcing couple and they initially say to you, hey, I'm going to sell the house. Then I'm going to sell a house to the wife and sell a house to the husband. But in reality, 75% of the time, when I get introduced to wonderful clients that are getting divorced, you might get one sale, because that's going to be the sale of the person who gets the equity buyout, because typically 75% of the time, one person wants to maintain the house.
Right. John, and then one of the things from the time that I know you, and this is where you as a lender come in place, right? That you are very honest. If there's no transaction, there's no transaction.
Yeah. No, without a doubt.
Because
that's for any client, Raul. That's for
yes.
any client, let alone if I'm dealing with divorcing clients. And just I want to throw it out there. I signed a contract with the actual association. I cannot charge anything, zero, for my services. My services as a CDLP are 100% free, with the understanding and hope that I've done a good enough job that the person who's going to refinance and do the equity buyout, or the person who they sell the house and both of them go buy a house. Also, because people move after divorces, I am personally licensed in 18 states, so I can help negotiate the terms, make sure everybody comes out smooth sailing from the choppy, murky waters. But you're 100% right. You got to be transparent. Okay. We all know that I'm a commissioned salesman, and we all know that as a realtor, you're a commissioned salesman. And what blows my mind in 26 plus years of doing this is actually clients blatantly lying to a loan officer, okay? And then all of a sudden the loan officer can't perform, or what's worse is vice versa. Why would you tell a client and a realtor and the seller's realtor and title and everybody else that the loan is doable when it's not doable? Okay. Now, yes.
Yes, true.
Do things happen out of your control? Appraisal issue, inspection issue, things happen. But if you don't do your due diligence up front, crossing T's, dotting I's, we get verifications of employment on the initial application. That's extremely important because guess what? What if you're a union worker, as an example? And what if you say, John, I work for Union 617. Well, guess what? The union is not your employer. You've had 17 jobs in the last 2 years. We need to piece all this together. Okay. Yes, we get a timeline from the union, but we need to actually be in a position to verify all the income. Also, people go, John, here's my W-2. Look, I made 87,000. The problem is if 30,000 is your salary and the other 57,000 is commission, but you only been in a commission job for 1 year, I can't use that income. Okay. Right. So Raul, you and I have had some wonderful transactions together. I love working with you. You and I are cut from the same cloth. You talk the talk, you walk the walk. You're out there every day grinding it out, and that's what I love. I love working with wonderful partners such as yourself. And you're the same way. Yes. Somebody says, "Hey, I want to look at this $500,000 house," and it's been on the market for 48 hours, and they go, "I want to offer $450 with all closing costs." I mean, I'm not saying that you can't put that offer in, but you're going to advise to them, hey, this is a hot property on the market for less than 2 days. We can offer anything you want, but understand that if you get a rejection, it's because your offer wasn't as strong as you.
Exactly.
You're educating supply and demand. You're educating. Exactly. We're still in a defined seller's market. Now, do I do loans where closing costs paid for? Every so often. Do I get $20,000 in closing costs paid for? Probably not. But hey, an extra 5-10 grand here or there, negotiating, and that's what you and your team does as good as anybody else. So, once again, I appreciate you having me on today. Really just want to focus on that certified divorce lending professional designation. Many people do not have it. Okay. So if you're going through a divorce or you're contemplating a divorce and you're working with a lender that does not have my designation, I'm telling you, there are things that I have learned. Okay. Once again, I've only had this designation for 2+ years. So that means I was in the business 24, 25 years. I've learned stuff that I did not know. And guess what? Maybe in my past, I did a loan that I shouldn't have been able to do because I didn't understand the rules and regulations. And that's where I'm here to protect the sanctity of the divorce. I know it sounds crazy, right? Sanctity of a marriage, but I'm talking about the sanctity of a divorce, because when you file a divorce, you create lis pendens. That means you're in a lawsuit. Okay.
You're in a lawsuit. That's what it is.
Yeah. And listen to this. I'm on a special blog, and this happened. Okay. Certified divorce lending professional. This happened straight up in Pennsylvania. A husband sold a property while going through divorce. Guess what happened? The judge can order that sale to be null and void, and the house has to come back to him. Now, more than likely, here's what's going to happen. He's going to have to take assets from other assets to pay for that difference because he tried to sneak something. And guess what? If you're a realtor and you kind of knew about all this stuff, you could be considered a co-conspirator. Yes. So that's why you need to just associate yourself with the people that have the experience, have the certifications. I don't want to tell you that I'm John Drennan, sales manager. I have 32 designations. No, I'm a sales manager at Fairway Mortgage in Vegas. I'm licensed in 18 states, been doing this since 1998. I do reverse mortgages, and that's an internal certification, but my certified divorce lending professional designation is nationwide and all the states that I am licensed in. And I'm just so happy to be able to work with people, Raul, once again, like you and Karina, because you guys really take the time to nurture your clients. From clients that have bought 7, 8, 10 houses, right? And they tell you what's going on, and you just kind of inform them, or you bring in face-to-face here in my office, Raul, you and Karina bring in first-time home buyers and we hold their hand. But like I said, today we're really focusing on divorces. Just don't do a divorce without consulting a professional such as myself, because after it's final, okay, kind of like a bankruptcy, Raul, when that thing's final and the judge goes, it's official.
It's official.
You can't undo something where maybe if I just knew 2 weeks in advance, 1 day in advance, 20 minutes before it's final, make a correction. The numbers are the same, but they're in a mortgage-friendly way.
You know what? It is so peculiar that you mention it the way you explain it. A couple months ago, we had a situation just like that, and it was a listing, And at the end, my client, the seller, did not listen to you. And what happened at the end? The property we haven't selling. Why? Because he not listened to you. You're like, hey, this is the way you should do it. This is the right way to do it.
Yep.
You know, and he did it his own way. And what happened? The house is right there.
Yep.
You know, we didn't put it in the market. We know it's not the right way to do it. And you know what, John? And so much for the explanation and clarification. And for all of you that are watching our YouTube channel, it doesn't have to be in Vegas, but anyone that it says that it has a certification, ask for it. Let me see it. Because anyone can claim it. Oh, I got a certification in this, and this. Really? Do you? Let me see it. Anyone can ask me, like, hey, are you a licensed real estate agent? Absolutely. Can I see your license? I do have a picture right there. You know, I cannot hold it, but I'm sure that I can get you a picture of my license. And, you know, and that is very crucial because there's so many people out there, you know, taking advantage because this is very complicated. This is not easy, though.
Correct. Yeah. Once again, it is very complicated, especially if you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And there are some people out there that are kind of telling people that they are certified divorce lending professionals, and they're not. Once again, you have to take the class. You have to do the continuing education. You have to jump on the Zoom calls. I mean, there's so many different things that you have to do. Plus, you have to pass the test. And so, you know, like I said, I'm so proud that I can offer this for free to any client that needs. I'm talking even if it's a grandmother whose granddaughter's getting divorced. Hey, call me. Well, you know what I've heard? I've heard this. Hey, John, husband, I know two people are getting divorced. Okay. But they don't own property. Okay. Do they ever want to buy property? Well, I don't know, but they're just two people getting divorced. Still, let me talk to them because guess what? They may want to buy in the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. But remember, as soon as that judge goes boom and that settlement agreement for the divorce is final, I can't undo it. And I can't unring the bell, as I say.
No, absolutely. John, quick question. Let's say, for example, that you have a couple that have a property or two, you know, maybe in the same state or different states. What would you consider would be a time frame, you know, by the time that you starting a file with the clients until they finally finish the settlement?
You know what? That's a great question. I'm actually working with a young lady. She's in the military. She's going to a mediator next week, and she hopes and prays the judge says it's going to be final because there's really not a financial problem. The husband just doesn't want to get divorced, but she said we're getting divorced. And so it just really depends. Here in Las Vegas, if you have a no-fault divorce, you could get that thing done in like 3-4 days by going down to the courthouse, filling out the paperwork, and you're good to go. But typically you have assets. Typically you have post-marriage assets, pre-marriage assets. And then what if you have children? Okay. So a lot of different things happen. And if it goes smooth, we're talking weeks. But I've also seen people going through divorces for years. And, you know, they're spending, the people that get rich are the attorneys. And I respect the heck out of all my divorce attorney professionals because we need you. Okay. We definitely need you. But when you go through and you try to have a, you know, multi-millionaire person, business owner, you know, doctors, lawyers, people with multiple properties, like you said, and in multiple states, different states, the laws are different jurisdictions are different. So those can get real messy and they can take months or years. But what I like to do is if I know somebody's getting divorced or started the process, I just want to understand what they're trying to accomplish, give them these pointers, talk to their attorney if necessary, talk to the mediator if necessary. A lot of times it comes down to the financial advisor because they want to start splitting assets in one way or the other. And I'm like, hey guys, don't do that because there could be a tax consequence. So we also got to bring the CPA involved. So once again, it can get somewhat complicated. People create trust. And so they do trust income based upon certain things. Rules and regulations do change all the time. So, you know, I always tell everybody, start with me, okay? Let me try to help you through this and allow me to earn your trust in your business so that I can do the mortgage transaction after the divorce has been finalized.
John, what happens if, let's say, for example, I'm getting divorced. You are my friend, right? But my wife doesn't know it's you. Now, is she entitled to use her own divorce lender with a certification?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not here to stop anybody. I'm here to I like working with divorcing couples that will allow me to just tell the truth. Okay. Then from there, sadly, what happens is I'm probably doing, let's say you sold your house, I'm doing your loan, but because I have a relationship with you, your wife's probably going to go, I don't want, even though I know everything about her, right, through the divorce, she's probably going to go to another lender. My biggest thing is that what I offer is free. So you can't get what I'm going to tell you from anybody who doesn't have the certification that I have. So it can be mind boggling, but I see, unfortunately, I see the tail end of things. I see how things finalize and they're not done right. So if you can get professional guidance and expert opinion based upon my certification and it's free, my question is why? Some people are just afraid, Raul. I mean, they're just afraid, but I'm the type of person, what makes me the best person I can be is not because I'm some rock star or whatever. It's because I align myself with the people that can help. I align myself with experts like you, Raul, in the real estate business.
Thanks, John.
I have an amazing CPA. I have 2 or 3 tax or trust attorneys. I have a personal injury attorney who, ironically, in the last 4 years, my wife and I, 5 years actually, my wife and I were injured in no-fault accidents. And if I didn't have him, then what would have happened? So, that's what it's about. I did a CE class here recently, and we had an amazing broker speaking, and she said it best. She goes, everybody thinks I know everything, and that's not true. But I know somebody who does know it, and by building a team around me, that's what makes me as good as I am, and that's why everybody comes to me because they think I know everything. But guess what? It's the people around her, and I love how she put that. Georgia's an amazing young woman, and I love how she posed that, and that's why doing a video like this, Raul, is so important because we're educating the consumer. We're letting them know that yes, we're here in Las Vegas, Nevada, but you have referral systems to help people buy houses in other states. I'm personally licensed in 18 states and Fairway's licensed on all 50. So we have an internal referral system. So once again, we're here to help in any way, but I really pride myself in this designation because I can help a lot of people fix their problems before the problems happen. Because as soon as that divorce is final, we deal with the problems. And sadly, sometimes it just doesn't work in our favor.
Hey, your certification, is that also, I know you mentioned that you are licensed in, 18 states?
Yes.
Now, does that certification also follows you on all those states?
Yeah. So it follows me. So it's like I'm internally certified to do reverse mortgages at Fairway. Okay. And I'm not leaving Fairway, but let's just say, once again, we're doing hypotheticals. If I left here and went to another company, they may not even offer reverse mortgages. Okay. If I went to another company, they may not even have a certification. Oh, we just do reverses because we do them. Okay. That's okay. Fairway is very particular that you have to be certified internally, but my certified divorce lending professional designation follows me. So if I went to any mortgage company, it follows me with me and follows me to all 18 states. And that's what really matters. Because once again, in each and every state, there's some different things. And that's why I'm going to say it. I got a team. I got the owner of the Divorce Lending Association. I can go right on her Calendly, set an appointment. Her and I talk all the time. So, we want to make sure we're giving the proper guidance and advice in each state and each jurisdiction. Yes, sir.
Hey, John, it cannot get any better than that, bro. Honestly. I
appreciate
knowledge, certification, and for free.
That's it. Exactly. Knowledge, education, transparency, communication, and it's free.
And it's free. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That's John. Just like he said with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. He, at the end of the video, you see our certifications and our contact information. If you want to see the video again, rewind the video, watch it again, because this is just a very portion of the divorce. I mean, it can go, over and over and over. And I'm sure that we probably will skip something, So, but if you have any questions, please watch the video again, give him a call, send him an email. Even if you're in another state, just like you said, consultation. It's everything, All right, John, thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, man.
All right.